Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is directed by J.J. Abrams, written by him, brought in also Chris Terrio, who has done movies like Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Argo. This one follows the story. If you caught up with the few films, if you caught up with the whole saga, this is a continuation, a finale to The Force Awakens Last Jedi. Follows the new characters Rey, Finn, Poe, and Kylo Ren, and just embarks on this other journey. And along the way, you get, familiar faces, new, tasks they have to do. And this is supposed to be wrapped up as the final film in the Skywalker saga. And does it live up to it? Does it, tie up all 9 films? Does it at least give you explanations to this one and like this trilogy specifically? And how does that kind of conclude? How does that wrap up? And this has all been leading up to this, is it well worth the wait? Did, with people saying Force Awakens was a rehash, The Last Jedi was too different. Does The Rise of Skywalker bring both fandoms back and just celebrate this, into a way that Star Wars celebrations should be? Give it, a little bit of the difference, but a little bit of the familiarity. And for me personally, like I've said, and just kind of give you guys a heads up, this will probably be a spoiler review. Honestly, it is what it is. I just want to kind of give out the whole opinions and reasonings that I want, and just say how I feel I enjoyed or I disliked the movie, depending what I thought of the film. And yes, as this really is a really messy film, a flawed film. A lot is really thrown at you. It's like they really speed it up. They're like, we need to get to the chase. Here are the plots that, points you have to hit. A, B, C, meeting with this person, meeting that person. It really does kind of do that a lot. And you have to kind of wrap your head around we're going into this. This is happening. And it kind of just feels like, okay, so yeah, some of the things of The Last Jedi were done in certain ways, which we'll still carry on with, but other things we kind of have to patch up already. I know you guys wanted to see the Knights of Ren. Here are the Knights of Ren, and then have Kylo Ren live up as Supreme Leader for a bit, see how it goes. And then the second arc, it's okay, so this is what JJ, I thought, in my interpretation at least, was what he wanted to shoot. I was like, okay, here we go. This is now the story that, especially were Rey and Kylo, now that they solidified those are the 2 main actors or characters. This is how they meet. This is what their purpose is for their journey and what wraps up for this movie. And just, there is a lot to process, I will admit that. And some of the characters really got sidelined. Definitely Finn, he had a very promising start with being a stormtrooper to kind of just being to that side mission and canceled by it. But at least in this one, they brought him back a bit where he's lead general now with Poe. It was really fast, and I really hope, he should have had more of a payoff, but they did what they had to do with that. Poe, thank goodness, I always liked how he was in all the movies, even in The Last Jedi, depending how they, treated him. But with this one, they finally made him have a redemption arc, a more definitely an arc that he had overcame, and he finally accepted truly the role he should have had in this film. So it was great seeing him get paid off, and then just having mainly Rey and Kylo. Rey, I gotta admit, she was promising at the beginning, and I gave her a chance so she was in Force Awakens. How powerful she was, and just played well by Daisy Ridley. It's charming, and I wanted to give her a chance. It was The Last Jedi where it made me question a bit who she was, and I still didn't hate her, but it made me it wasn't as interesting for me as I thought it could have been. And in this one, really, they finally gave her, a background to relate to, and it doesn't matter what it was, but they gave her, she's a Palpatine, so that you can kind of relate in some sort of way without you maybe thinking, man, that's a bit rush, and then really, so we're gonna go with that. So that's the choice she went, whether you got that from fan theories or you made it up on your own. Okay, interesting, but she had something. And then at least Daisy has been progressing with her acting. She's no way near a terrible actress. It was good seeing her how she started and then how she's advanced. Compliment with her on her skills for that, and just seeing how she deals now, knowing who she is. And she always wanted a family, and she has it, but does she like it? So I'm glad that she has to deal with that, and it really shows. It shows the way that she has in this movie, and it really did make me appreciate her now, enjoy her more, how she is character wise, and how she is crucial to the whole trilogy. But yeah, some of those parts is like issues I have here is just some of it was rushed because like seeing like Palpatine, it's nice seeing Palpatine in here. Static wise, just everything how he looks is good. It was good seeing him. Like just who wasn't who's not thrilled to see him. Good little cheer for him, but it did feel a bit rushed. But I understood they gave their explanations, but it would have been nice to flesh it, to give it more time to realize why he's back. And then, but those are some of the things. But for me, to be honest, I really did enjoy this movie, and I went back to see it to just solidify. I still enjoyed it. This really, when I came out of it, felt like what I wanted for Star Wars. It made me really optimistic. It made me really enjoy the film. I really did like it, and a lot of the pros I could say is, yeah, sure, a lot of it is messy. It's clutter, but I like in the first half, it did feel like a Spielberg film. I like how it had Indiana Jones vibes, just the adventure of how it was what I wanted to see from Rey, Finn, and Poe, but I liked everything that came through. I liked the mission they were thrust upon and what they had to do. That really resonated with me from like a fun kind of just joyous aspect, and then seeing just how it turns when it does, when it evolves, like, because then one of the better parts, what I always mention throughout this whole series, Kylo Ren, played by wonderfully by Adam Driver, comes in, and he is, to me, really, like, that was one of the better things Rian Johnson did, is he pushed Kylo Ren. He pushed him having this wonderful arc, at least for me. Like, it was something that dripped Star Wars. It was something that I at least could get behind. And then how he pushes everybody, especially Rey, and bringing her to, make her realize who she is. And then just he is one of the best parts. He shows really how conflicted he is. Shows a bit of how he is like his grandfather, his father, his mother, his uncle, just all that. And seeing how he carries all that weight of, does he follow the legacy? Does he not? Having just Kylo Ren be the one that just like drives a lot of this, because he kind of deals with also having his mother here, and what she does to just help push Rey. And I'm glad that we had more training scenes with Rey, and then having it help Ben have an arc, and just seeing it really kick in from his point, like the driving, but everybody like who could complement. Like I liked seeing so much Rey and Ben, their simpatico relationship, how they blend, and that was a good thing that was set up in the prior movie that was able to be capitalized in this movie. And just I liked a lot of like what went on. It really did feel a bit like Force Awakens, like the sequel in the beginning, and then the Last Jedi sequel in the second half. And it got everything that I wanted. Like even if it was anything of expectations where like just were thrown off a bit, were a little bit unexpected, or you expected it but it wasn't the way it was. I really did get a lot from this. It jams so much in there, but it's still, for me, like I saw what the artistry of it was, and I really appreciated that. And yes, a lot of people did get backgrounds, seats to this, but still, it was nice to like sprinkle them in to push the plot at the very least. Even if like Lando Calrissian, thank gosh my boy is back. Even if he wasn't in it all, he was enough to help everybody else kick this rebellion, this resistance now, like the new era. And like I said, like having Leia be so integral to Rey and Kylo really was a nice way. That's how you really should have sent these characters off, and how to push the other ones. And even though some characters, like I said, I didn't like as much throughout, this one really made me pay more for them now, like attention, care, and definitely just Kylo-ish, one of the best parts of how he drives his own legacy, he drives the story, and just being able to just accept him, even though it was hard to, for a lot of people, how they're going to accept him. I saw it in a way, even for myself, still was like, oh, he still went on. He being able to just be accepted because like Leia still had faith in him. Han gave him a chance. He and it shows from Adam Driver's emotions how much he had to battle with that. The characters coming to a realization of who he was. Just I really gave me the kick out of it that I needed, the emotions. And then seeing some of the parts of like of the third act be a bit rushed, but still like I liked seeing how there was the certain stakes of what Palpatine was bringing to the Resistance and how he was facing Rey and Kylo, it it was a really emotional for me enough to just care. And I know a lot of people probably wouldn't, care. Maybe some others were like, this could have been done better, or just why are we here? But I accepted it. Okay, there was some things that felt a bit like they're trying to copy this, they're trying to do that, and what is that? What is this? But seeing how it was central to those two characters, what I wanted, it's really what I really cared for. I really don't hate any of these movies of the trilogy, but it really did make me just realize how the vision was for the three films. And I wish it could have been more clear cut of what they wanted, but seeing them as the films they are, Force Awakens really needed to be the way it was. The Last Jedi, I really appreciated the creative decisions they were doing. Could have landed some of them better, but I appreciated them. This one really at least had the a clear cut, and I did enjoy it. It's really what I wanted. Like, no one is to blame. JJ, Ryan, they each get a piece of the pie. To blame, to not blame, but there's some blame in that aspect if you have to do it. But this one had the balance of like what Force Awakens wanted to do, what Last Jedi accomplished, and just I saw it as like it was a stitched up version, but still it was something beautiful that I could see within the mess. But it's just what I wanted. It had the Star Wars hope, and it had just that creative vision, and that's what I got from like the melding pot. That's really what I got the most of this film. I will admit the movie wasn't perfect. I'm not gonna lie, it could have been really better, and just so much that had to be rushed. But really, what I saw, to be honest, and I'm glad I gave it a chance. It was the Star Wars I wanted, and Star Wars I wanted with like it being pushed, and it was enough for me to care. Though it really doesn't wrap up as best for the whole saga, but for the trilogy it does, and it did bring up like just the hope I wanted. It's just the enjoyment of the film definitely did come out. Like, if I judged it from my heart, like my heart to judge how all these films were, this one did bring out just what I wanted for the franchise, for the movie. I understand honestly what people think. Everybody, I understand, and I look back at it. Okay, this one really makes me judge more of the other films now, but this one made me kind of also appreciate like at least something was done, some service of what I wanted. At least my interpretation. Everybody lives Star Wars in their own way. This is really how I enjoy Star Wars. I got that from the film. I'm gonna have to give Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker a B plus. Yeah, it's just something, guys. It's just like it is trickery. It really is. This might just divide the people more rather than bring them together. But for me, it gave me this understanding sense, and it really did. It made me be more judgmental on those previous films, but also made me appreciate them. But yeah, like I said, it's just what I wanted out of this one. I got the satisfaction. I got the appreciation for the film. But let me know, guys, what you thought. Like, did you guys hated the movie? Did you guys also like the movie? It's fair. It's everybody's right. Everybody is right. Just everybody needs to understand that we all have our opinions. Okay, it is what it is. I got a good kick out of the movie. I had a good time. I had a blast with the film. So let me know, guys, what you thought. Like, tell me your rankings of all 9 movies. Tell me what you thought specifically of this movie, all in the comments below. And as always, roll an empire. Laugh, smile, repeat.